This is how to change a water pump in a 2015 Volkswagen Golf GTI. Alright, so these are the part numbers that you're going to need to buy from Volkswagen. These are Volkswagen part numbers. These are not aftermarket part numbers. It's expensive. This is the thermostat, this electrical monstrosity. This is the coolant pump. It fits into the thermostat like that. The thermostat and coolant pump are going to come off the vehicle as one assembly after the belt is taken off. So there's like a cog belt right here that's driven off the back of the engine. And when I say back of the engine, I mean where the transmission and the engine bolt together. Anyways, this is your thermostat. Overly complicated, kind of stupid. I don't know where the leak is coming from on this particular car I'm working on. It's my car, yes. But I think the leak is coming from back here where this gasket meets up with the engine. Anyways, one thing to point out is that there is a port back here on the side of this thermostat, and there is, where is it? There is this little plastic coupling that has two O-rings on it. One side, forgive the shaking, this one side fits inside of here. The other side of this coupling with the O-rings on goes inside of what I think is a engine coolant to oil like heat exchanger. The reason why I'm doing all of this is because it leaks, but I guess most importantly is I use stop leak, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, don't ever use stop leak in a new car. In an older car, I don't know, it works okay, but in these newer cars, it causes nothing but problems. Alright, it just clogs everything. We were driving this car, my wife and I, this is my wife's car. We were driving it yesterday and everything starts overheating, and it's not because there's no coolant in the engine, it's because a stop leak plugged up the radiator. So anyways, if you use stop leak and you're in the same situation like I am, you got to take the radiator out of the friggin' car and you got to flush it out. You also got to go back here where your heater core is for your heat, and you got to kind of like put like a garden hose inside of both of these things, both the inlet and the outlet of the heat exchanger, and you got to run this. You got to run this thing until the water runs clean out of the heat exchanger. Anyways, I'm making this video because it really isn't that bad. It's a can of sardines in here, but it's actually not that bad. So here is the thermostat assembly. There's a little cover over the water pump, but you can actually see where the thermostat, the water pump, and this cover are sandwiched together right here. How do you get to this? Alright, so you're going to take off a bunch of plastic crap on the top of the motor right here. You're going to take apart your air cleaner, and then you're just going to pull the air cleaner up. There's like a thing here on the battery tray. There's another thing here where there's like rubber grommets that slide over this thing. Just pull up and it will come off. Obviously you're going to take your upper and your lower radiator hoses off. You're going to pop off your intercooler hoses, both of them. The intercooler attaches to the air outlet and the turbocharger over here. You got to take it off here. There's various bolts, zip ties, and electrical retainers you got to take apart. But anyways, I'm making this video to show you kind of the things that I had to go through, that you're going to have to go through, and I would encourage you to go through because it really ain't that bad. Anyways, so on the front here, there's a screw there, there's a screw there. Kind of like lift up and just rock this thing out, and this will come off. There's nothing you're gonna break, so don't be afraid to pull on this thing. Anyways, like again, kind of like lift up and kind of like rock it out at the same time. It'll come off. After you've done that, you probably want to tackle taking the fan out. So there's an electrical connection over here that you got to undo, and it's right here. There is this fan kind of like fits inside of these little like hooks. There's 4 of them, 2 in each side of the radiator. There's a little there's like little snap retainers. You got to get them up underneath the car in order to get to them, but you're gonna like unsnap it and kind of push it up a little bit in this side. You're gonna unsnap it over here, push it up a little bit in this side, and then this whole like, you know, fan assembly kind of just like lifts up and it pulls out of the freaking car. Then what you're gonna do is there are these like plastic louvers or air diverters in the front of the car. You're gonna stick a screwdriver inside of the square opening and kind of like pry it downward, and then you're gonna pull this out of the way. There's another one on this side. You're gonna stick a screwdriver in. You're gonna stick a screwdriver in there, pry it down, and then pull this out of the way. And then inside of these like square openings, they used to be square, we kind of deformed them with the screwdriver. You're going to put a screwdriver in there. They're going to put a screwdriver in there. Again, that one was once square, it's deformed. And then there are these, I don't know, these little like snap things that, let me get a better picture of that. There's one on each side of the radiator. You're going to kind of like put a screwdriver or pliers or whatever here to kind of like force this thing down, and then you're going to push the radiator towards the engine compartment on this side first, the driver's side first, then come over to the passenger side. And again, there's this stupid clip right here. You got to push it down, and then you got to push this in towards the engine compartment, and then this thing just kind of like lifts out. There's really nothing else to it. I'll probably make a second video as time goes on. But so far, so good. I haven't broken anything. Thanks.